Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So I'll be taking this trade on GBPUSD. So let's go ahead and dive in because I want to analyze it with you guys so that you understand my point of view whenever I take these trades, right? So when you look closely at this trade, obviously you can see the price is not yet agreeing with any trend. Why? Because this is our last low, that was a change of character. This is our last high, that is also a change of character, right? So why are these two change of characters? Now, when you look closely at the trend itself, you do realize that from this zone, price was in a downtrend, right? But after taking this low, it also went ahead and took out its high. So indicating that from here, we're in an uptrend. So price could have just continued pushing up. But what happened is price created internal structures, ended up coming all the way down to this trend that came down and swept that low with a candle what break. So indicating that around this zone, price has converted from an uptrend to a downtrend again. So around here, price wasn't really giving you a chance to actually trade well, right? Very nice. So since you don't have a chance to actually trade well, what do? You just wait. What I was waiting for was for price to give me an opportunity. Now, what I can see here is an opportunity. Why? Because this is the high that took out this low. So that was the last high of this sell trend. So since price is able to come up, generate a lot of liquidity here to push up and take out this last high, then indirectly price is in an uptrend right now. So indirectly, currently price is in an uptrend right now. So what do I want to do? I want to follow that uptrend. And since none of the uptrend highs or lows has been taken, that means the uptrend is still what intact. So this is the high of the uptrend, and obviously, this low right here, just around somewhere here, is the low of this uptrend, right? So now I know I should be buying, I shouldn't be selling. But how do I buy? Because there's a lot of structures here. How do I buy? So first things first, you set for your demand zone. Obviously, this is a demand zone because it helped price shoot up very, very fast, right? This is also a demand zone, but you can see that after here, price did consolidated for a very long time before it finally had a massive push to shoot all the way up. Now, currently, what you'll be asking is then if this is a demand zone, why don't I just mark the OB of the what of the demand zone, which is this level right here? So yes, I could have marked this OB alone to use as my point of entry, right? And this right here as liquidity because price has come, it did not get to the OB and it shot all the way up, taking highs. So this is a point of liquidity. This is my what? My OB. I could have used this as my what? My execution. Why didn't I use it? So why am I using this whole zone? Why didn't I use it and why am I using this whole zone? Because when you look closely at the trend, right? When you look closely at the trend, you realize that on this particular line that I've just marked, this horizontal line that I've just marked, I did not just mark it because I want to mark a line. This has served as a what? A level of support and resistance. So you can see here resistance. You can see here again resistance, right? And obviously, when you look at here, you can see a what? A support. So indicating that this is a very good zone for price to actually retest, right? So my case, I don't want price to do what? Break through this zone. But I know price can retest it, and in retesting it, we might have a candle wick into this level before a push. So that candle wick might not even get to the other block right here, right? Which is this tiny zone right here. So that candle wick might not really get to this other block right here. So in order to not miss out of the trade, what do? I use the entire zone. And in this type of trades, I'm not actually catching this high. I'm looking for a draw on liquidity, which is the daily high, this level right here. So here I could potentially execute a very small trade, wait for the reversal to kick in before I start storming in a lot of trades because I know if price is pushing from this zone, then it's taking out the daily high because that is the obvious draw on liquidity. So that is how you capitalize and you maximize your what? Your profits. You understand when to execute and you execute a lot of trades. You make a lot of money when price gets to your TP, right? Simple as that. Now, today I did wait for a confirmation entry on gold and ended up missing 1:8 risk to reward trade, right? So this trade, yes, I'll probably look forward for a rejection, but not really a confirmation. I'll look forward for a rejection or an engulfing candle before I start entering into my trades. But that's just how I trade. That's just how I analyze the market. Now you're probably asking why am I not using these zones right here? Because none of it took a high. So this did not take a high. And this is just a downtrend. So this is just a downtrend. I don't really have to use any of this for my entry right now.
A few moments later.
All right, guys. So I have some bad news, and obviously, as you can see, the trade played out, but unfortunately, they don't pick my trade right. So currently, I'll be getting out of all. I'll probably be closing all my limit orders, and I'll wait to see what the market does right now. Unfortunately, on my part, BTC actually took my trade, which also went straight to SL before this drop right here. Right now, I should have actually noticed that there was some equal highs liquidity right here, and probably use this FEG for the entry instead of this one right here. But yes, today today nothing is actually going according to plan. Why? Yeah, it's going according to plan, but not necessarily how I want it to go according to plan, right? Obviously, as you can see, Euro USD has also shot up, leaving my trades right here. It did not also pick my trade. And the same thing happened to gold. Now, gold, I'm not going to trade it now. Why? Because as I've already said, I don't know why is this thing keeping so long, or is it because I'm not at home? So it's keeping long before it loads. It takes a very long time. So gold, as you can see, I said it if it could generate a lot of liquidity. Now you see that this wasn't a liquidity being generated. This was very fast. So I couldn't have executed a trade here, even if I wanted to, right? And if I wanted to, I would have probably used this other block with my stop loss above here. But no, I'll be closing this as well. So those are the only trades that I wanted to take today. But unfortunately, none of it got taken. So I'll close all limit orders, wait for price to come to those zones before I see reactions and then get back into the market. But for now, I can't just leave these limit orders. Price has manipulated a lot, so I have to close those limit orders, see what price will do next before I can now jump back into the market. So yes, as you can see, the analysis for GBP USD was solid. It was very simple. As I've already said, we're in an uptrend, so we are looking forward to buying all the way up. And as you can see, that's exactly what happened, right? Just unfortunately, I'm not part of it. But yes, that is what happened. Now, do I have gotten a trade here? Maybe or maybe not, but still, this is where I wanted to enter. So if this comes back and I see some sort of movement below this zone right here, that shows that price probably wants to go in my direction. Now, obviously, why not? But if I can't see it, then yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.